Athletic Director Randy Reed. And Shirley Dent. John Neeson. Number 6, Jacob Ward. Number 7, Braden Mann.
On target, guys. Nice flag. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dan Williams, and on behalf of George Langevin Sports Video Productions, like to say good afternoon to you. We are at Torrey Pines High School, site of today's Super Game of the Week. It's the 1999 CIF San Diego section Women's Division I Soccer Championship game. We have two top teams out on the field in the navy blue uniforms. It is the Bonita Vista Barons. They are going up against the La Costa Canyon Mavericks. The Barons will be moving from right to left on your television screen. They have Stephanie Bell, one of the team captains, in the keeper's box for the Barons. For La Costa Canyon, they'll be moving left to right in the keeper's box for the Mavericks. That is Tara Walker. No score in this game as we are just underway. You see some nice close-up action on the near sideline. Some bumping going on there. I think we're going to see that all game long. Both teams very aggressive out on the field. For the Barons, foot on the ball by Christina Romero, and now taken away by the Mavericks. Foot on the ball by Alexis Obaji outside of the touchline on the far sideline. Ball will be given over to the Mavericks. They'll have control on the far sideline. Let's take a look at the roster for the La Costa Canyon Mavericks. Head coach for the talented Mavericks team is Mike Nicholson. Assistant coach Maggie Merritt. We mentioned in the keeper's box starting Tara Walker. Her backup is Erin Collins. Wearing number 3, Janelle Caden. Natalie Dew wears number 4. Number 5 is Kristen Coahan. Haley Robertson wears number 7. Number 9, Vanessa Valentine. Kathy Schmidt wears jersey number 10 for the Mavericks. Lindsey Brown, number 11. Nikki Lopez, number 12. Alexis Obaji wears number 14. Megan Kakadelis wears 15. 16 is Caitlin Pruitt. Paige Lowry wears number 19. Number 21 is Heather Moonjin. Kelly O'Connell, 22. Alyssa Springer, number 23. Number 31, that's Whitney Thomas. Cherie Halverson, 38. And the largest number on the team, number 40, that's Kristen Rock. Mavericks will have the kick to bring the ball back into play. Nice defense now by the Barons. Ball following the far side touchline. Now trying to center the ball, effectively held out by the defense. Beatty puts a foot on the ball. It's Beatty again. Chip shot towards the center line. Header by Conahan. Whistle blows. Let's take a look at the roster now for the Bonita Vista Barons. In the keeper's box, Stephanie Bell. She is one of the Barons' captains. Her backup in the keeper's box, Jenna Vivanco. We mentioned Lauren Beatty. She wears number 2. Number 3 is Lena Valderrama. Meredith Leyland is number 4. Number 5, Darcy Cunningham. Dana Kessler wears number 6. Number 7 is Sandy Zuniga. Osiris Romero wears number 8. Inez Oriol is one of the captains. She wears number 9. Christina Romero is number 10, number 11. Jenna Vivanco. Erica Rodriguez is number 12. Number 13, Angelica Valderrama. She is absent of today's game. Marls Gonzalez wears number 14. Mindy Swanson is 15. Carrie Minton, number 16. Number 17, Andrea Pino. Number 18, Tawny Pedren. She is the third captain of this team. Denise French wears number 19 for the Barons. Ryan Pettit, number 20, and Stephanie Bell. Bell, again, wears number 21 when not in the keeper's box, but that's where she is the first half of this game at least. Heather Moonjin sends the ball out to the far sideline. Now trying to move the ball down is Moonjin. She is challenged by Oriole. Oriole and Moonjin goes at it. The defense for the Barons is there, picked up by Romero. Romero now fighting it out on the far sideline. That's Carrie Minton. Now that ball will be put down. So Caitlin Pruitt for the Mavericks, nice job defensively. Puts the foot on the ball, sails down towards the far sideline. Defense is there for the Barons, sends it back towards the midfield line. Now for control, pass on the ground over to Moonjin. Can they get it down the far sideline? They do. It stays inside, and kicking the ball outside of the touchline is Tara Walker. It looked like it creamed off somebody's body right there, and it just might have been one of the Barons players. And so it is, and the Mavericks will have the ball. We mentioned it, no score, 2 40-minute halves to try and determine the Division I soccer champion right here at Torrey Pines High School. Going after the ball is Valderrama for the Barons, and now there's a host of players at the midfield line. Ball coming down towards the top of the box, but not in time. It sails outside of the near post line. Mavericks right now doing a nice job of putting offensive pressure down towards the box of the Barons. Throw in by Kristen Conahan. Now just outside the box and now outside the near touchline. Throw in once again by Conahan. This field has seen better days. It is well worn and it is slippery in places. Ball coming now inside the box. Opportunity. Will there be a shot on goal? There is not, as the Mavericks try and squeak that ball inside the box, looking for an open lane. Can't find one, and it'll be goal kick time for the Barons. Well, you see the camera being pulled back, and you see the field in the condition that it is. Substitution we see. Going out is Lauren Beatty. Coming in is Erica Rodriguez, number 12. So fresh legs for the Barons, and the ball is back into play. Whistle, shoved from behind, ball awarded to the Mavericks, and they'll have the ball. Quite disappointing field of play for a Division I game, not the fault of either team, really not even the fault of the school itself, as these fields are used time and time again for a lot of different sports activities. Soccer, football, band, you name it, multi-use field. Now the ball inside the box, moving quickly to her left is Stephanie Bell. She'll get it and show us what type of foot she has. Extends the foot, going way downfield. Nice header back by the Mavericks. Quickly to the ball, Mavericks. They've been first to the ball quite often this first half. Header trying to get there is Conahan, but this time it's going to be the Barons. Zuniga trying to make the turn, picking up the ball. That's Rodriguez back over to Zuniga, down deep and can't quite get there. Hard charging Tawny Pedren. Zuniga put the ball into the air trying to feed Pedren. A little bit too long. It was good defense, good mark by the Mavericks. And so the goal kick comes up by La Costa Canyon. Foot on the ball by Tara Walker. She sends one screaming towards midfield line. Pick up now by Obaji. Now downfield it comes. Looking for a pass, trying to get it over to Brown. Brown challenged defensively, and covering up the ball, Stephanie Bell. Bell's seen a lot of action early the first half of this game. No score, though. Nice bounce. Trying to get to the ball, Natalie Dew. Dudo's up high, and the ball goes outside of the touchline after touching her, and so Sandy Zuniga will have the throw in. Zuniga looking for an opportunity, and now giving way. Throw in will come by Mindy Swanson, getting it down into the near corner. Nice job by Natalie Dew as she screens the charging Erica Rodriguez away from the ball. It'll be a goal kick off the foot of Tara Walker. They'll put the ball back into play. La Costa Canyon versus Bonita Vista. You know, La Costa Canyon is going for its third straight title, but the Mavericks don't want to share it this season. La Costa Canyon finished as co-champions last year following a 0-0 tie with talented Torrey Pines. Ball will come back in. Picked up now by the Mavericks. Pruitt sends it downfield, and Pruitt, I thought Pruitt was going to chip it to someone up front, and Pruitt decided to send a rocket right into the waiting arms of Stephanie Bell. Again, Mavericks on the attack offense. Coming back downfield, Darcy Cunningham. Cunningham gets it back over to Zuniga. Now it's in the box and loose. Trying to pounce on the ball outside the touchline. And now it's the Mavericks down deep, throw in by Natalie Dew. Gets one down deep, headed back defensively. Dew comes back, doing a nice job keeping it in. Dew wants to find net. Defense is strong for the Barons. They'll send it outside the touchline. Last touched by a Maverick player. They'll take a breather, come back on offense, and they'll try and move the ball back downfield. The Mavericks and Bonita Vista played earlier this season in the Torrey Pines tournament. In that tournament, it was the Mavericks defeating Bonita Vista by a very close score of 2-1. Now driving downfield, Ovaji. Ovaji got the ball over to Moonjin, and Moonjin put the ball towards the net, but waiting there was Stephanie Bell. Ovaji did a nice job driving downfield, splitting defenders to get that ball downfield. Taking a quick tumble, getting right back up, Nikki Lopez. You've got some heavy grass on the perimeters along the touch lines, but the middle of the field, you can see it, does not have much cushion at all. Grass is very much well worn. Last touch by a Maverick. The Barons will have the ball. They'll put it down, and they'll have a free kick by Carrie Minton. Minton will put the ball back into play. Nice ball by Minton downfield. Nice header defensively. Right back to Minton. She sends it back down again. This time it's the Mavericks defense that's coming up nicely. Caden for control, trying to get it back. And now it's sent down on the far sideline, watching it go outside of the touchline. Barons will have control. Bonita Vista Barons women's soccer team, chock full of superb athletes. Both of these teams working their way to these finals. For the Bonita Vista Barons, they opened the season with 2 losses in their first 3 games and 4 losses in their first 9 games. Head coach Ron Pietila probably scratching his head trying to figure out how to get the team on track, but get on track they did, because the Barons have not lost a game since, stretching their winning streak now to 20 straight games without a loss coming into this finals matchup. They are hot. Ball downfield nicely. That'll take 1 bounce to get into the box. Bell waiting. High flying kick, crosses the midfield line, takes a Barons bounce. Picking up the ball is Pino. And now coming up the other way, Moonjin. Moonjin stays with it for control. And now back with the chip shot. Racing down near sideline, look out, opportunity, shot on goal, sails wide. Alexis Obaji was wide open in the near corner, put the foot on the ball towards the net, but it sailed wide of the far post. Bell and the Barons escape a close one right there. They'll have the goal kick and bring the ball back out into play. Well, the Barons, on their way to 20 straight games without a loss, gained a lot of confidence on the road to this finals. Most impressive was the way Bonita Vista marched through the Metro League. Only a 0-0 tie against Castle Park prevented the Barons from being unbeaten during league play. Ball comes back in now by the throw-in of Natalie Dew. Throwing in, nice one inside the box. Mavericks finding themselves in another familiar place, but the defense stiffens. Ball sent out. This time it touches Dew, and for the Barons, they'll have the ball. Pino will have the throw. Nice header by Zuniga. Barons now send it outside of the near touch line. Mavericks will have the ball. The Mavericks had a perfect season, save for a loss only on penalty kicks to Rancho Bernardo in the finals of the Bonita Vista tournament. They were 10-0 in first place in league play, and overall 25-1. Seeded first in the CIF playoffs is the La Costa Canyon Mavericks. For the Bonita Vista Barons, they are seeded third, or they were seeded third originally, but both find their mark here in this finals matchup today. Long ball downfield, moving to her left, and picking the ball is Bell. Well, if you look at Bell and Walker, it's been Stephanie Bell who's burned the most calories this first half of the game, as La Costa Canyon Mavericks have continued to put pressure on the defense of the Barons and on Stephanie Bell herself. Whistle blows. On the road to the finals, La Costa Canyon won the Torrey Pines Tournament of Champions, beating the host Falcons in that finals game 5-0. The Mavericks won the Avocado League in stunning fashion, scoring 74 goals while only allowing 3. Yes, that's right, only allowing 3 goals. The team only allowed 7 goals for the entire season. Ball comes in once again, moving quickly. Who's going to get there in time? Racing for it was Nikki Lopez, Stephanie Bell herself, right there as the ball goes outside of the goal line. La Costa Canyon Mavericks and the Bonita Vista Barons. No score in this one at the 18-minute mark. 2 40-minute halves to play. Ball comes back in, goes right back out. It'll now be the Mavericks' ball. They'll take control and send it on the way. It's been a cold day all day today. Overcast skies. Must have been around 60 degrees as we see a substitution coming in. Number 15 for the Mavericks, Megan Kakadelis, replaces Heather Moonjin. Nice ball towards the middle of the field. Valderrama will stay with it. Valderrama keeps the ball inside, tries to make a turn. Good marking by Natalie Dew. Natalie sends it back out and slows down the Barons' attack offense. We got some great crowds here today for this Division I championship game. It's always nice to have friends and family in the stands. You'll ask the athletes if they can hear the crowds on the sidelines, and most of them will say yes, and it really helps to inspire their play. Tawny Pedrin trying to make the turn on Nikki Lopez. Once again, Mavericks marking very nicely. Ball stays with the Barons. Mindy Swanson will have the ball on the far sideline. She'll have a throw-in as her team gets into position, and they're going to try and get the ball down into Mavericks part of the field and give Tara Walker a workout. Inside of the box, and putting a foot on the ball lightly was Lena Valderrama. Couldn't get all of it. Moving over for the Mavericks, Tara Walker, she's able to get it and send it back out towards the midfield line. And we're playing a lot of touch lines right now, both sides. Nice strong rope throw. Brown, and now with the takeaway, but Brown comes right back. Brown had the ball taken away, but came right back against Tawny Pedrin and fought for the ball. Last touched by Mavericks, and so the ball comes back in by the Barons off the foot of Carrie Minton. Minton herself for the Barons, a defensive player. She's a junior, so she'll be able to come back again next year and come back strong. Minton right there steps in front. Looking for control, Mavericks. Downfield it comes, now picked up by Brown. Brown looking to center the ball, but right there, Carrie Minton comes back in, top of the box. Minton header, trying to help themselves along is Cunningham outside the touchline, and the Barons will be on the march on the far sideline. 23-4-2 overall record for Bonita Vista Barons in the Metro League. They did come in first place with a very nice 13-0-1. Coming downfield, Barons on the passing attack. Romero has the ball. Romero was challenged, and now the ball comes back in favor of Mavericks, trying to get there. Once again, it's Brown. Brown, I tell you, Brown has no fear. She puts on those afterburners, shows the burst of speed, and doesn't care who is around her. She's going to move forward. Ball sent out off the foot of Tawny Pedrin, and so it'll be the Mavericks with the ball. Only a goal by Chula Vista prevented the Barons from being unscored upon all season long. Can you believe that? 13 shutouts in the other league games and a total of 18 for the season. So for the Mavericks, although they've had the ball down deep in the Barons part of the field most of this first half, they, based on the statistics of the defense, are going to have a tough time putting the ball in. And using all that she could was Stephanie Bell. Last touches it, and now this will be the very first corner kick of the game. Janelle Caden. Corner kick time for the Mavericks. Ball comes in, and a whistle blows as there is a shove for position, and the ball will be awarded back over to the Barons. You are watching the San Diego section of the CIF. It's the Women's Division I Soccer Championship game. This game being brought to you by George Langevin. It's your leader in Game of the Week coverage. You know, anytime you're watching top prep sports action, you know George Langevin has got to be involved with it. Top of the box, cleared out temporarily, but on the move attacking are the Mavericks outside of the touchline. Last touched by a Baron player. Yes, that's what the head referee says, and so the Mavericks will take control. Both of these teams did not have to play in the opening round of competition here on the road to this finals matchup. Look out, offsides call. Kristen Conahan trying to find the open seam, got in front of everybody and was called with the offsides. And so Stephanie Bell will give way to the talented Carrie Minton, and Minton will put the ball back into play for the Barons. They want to get it downfield and put some havoc down in the Mavericks part of the box. Jumping high, Mavericks for control now. Turn and going downfield. Can they get there in time? Moving quickly was Kristen Conahan. Couldn't quite get there, and so Barons will have it. Ryan Pettit puts the throw in, headed back in, now picked up by Romero. Romero over towards the midfield line. Pedron now picked up by Mavericks. Pedron's back over there. A lot of headers moving the ball inside the box. Kakadelis takes a tumble, and you hear the crowd's disapproval of that one. Partisan call as we're on that side of the field. Ball will be awarded back over to the Barons. Stephanie Bell, one of the captains, also Inez Oriol, as well as Connie Pedron. So those are the three captains for the talented Bonita Vista Barons. In the game now, number 7, Sandy Zuniga back in the game. Header going for 2. Will make it 3. And there's that strong defensive wall of the Barons. They'll send the ball back downfield. Looking for control of the ball was Lena Valderrama. Coming up from behind quickly was Christina Romero. The whistle blown and a reminder to play safely out there. You got talented players, very aggressive play at this level. Ball moves downfield. Valderrama sends it out to the near side. Nice one touch to be picked up now. Valderrama trying to get to the ball, but it's taken away effectively by Tawny Pedron. Now on the move again, Caden. Looking for an intercept was Zuniga, but the ball comes down, and you can see the pushing and shoving that goes on. Tangled up there was going to be Swanson going up with Lindsey Brown. Throw in now, Natalie Dew. They're down deep again. Foot on the ball defensively by Rianne Pettit. And the ball will come back in on the throw-in. Natalie Dew doing what she does best. Good strong throw inside the box. Defense is there. Foot on the ball by Kristen Conahan, sends it wide of the near post, and a busy Stephanie Bell will grab the ball and have a goal kick. Again, no score in this one, as we see now a substitution for the mighty Barons. Taking a breather, Lena Valderrama. Getting some instruction is Denise French. Ball comes back into play. Mavericks will win that battle. And off the foot of Mindy Swanson, the throw-in comes. So we really have seen a lot of play on the sidelines, both teams strategically slowing down the other attack offense by moving that ball outside of the touchline. Mavericks continue to remain in a superior position right now and keeping the ball down deep in the Barons field. But just as the Barons statistics have shown, there is no penetration into the net by the Mavericks so far. And if any indication of what the Barons will do defensively, the Mavericks are going to have a tough time all game long to find an open door and find a goal in this game. Barons, on the other hand, wanted to try and do something. They've been shut out. They've had a tough time just moving the ball downfield into the Mavericks part of the field itself. They'll have the throw-in. Meredith Leyland. Leyland will look for an opportunity, and Leyland will move it down into the near side. Look out now, it's Oriole. Oriole sends a crossing shot. Opportunity. Clear out by Mavericks. Oriole did a nice job crossing that ball. It's cleared out effectively by the Mavericks, picked up on the far sideline by Brown. Brown now challenged by Swanson. Swanson now sends it in herself. Header in the direction and just missing. Megan Cacadelis put a head on the ball to direct it towards the net and just missing. The far post was the combination of Lindsey Brown and Megan Cacadelis. All for naught now as the ball will come back out. Barons will have it. They'll put the ball back into play. No score. Still first half of play at the 30-minute mark. We mentioned it, 2 40-minute halves to try and determine a champion right here in the Women's Division I of high school soccer. Pickup now and on the turn. Talking about participation in soccer in San Diego, you've got a tremendous amount. It's estimated that about 50,000 men and women between junior varsity and varsity play soccer right here in San Diego County. Ball penetrates into the box, but the defense stiffens once again for the Barons, and the familiar throw-in will come on the near sideline by Dew, and they'll try and get it inside the box. We'll see what Dew can do. Nice throw, header into the air. And there's a handball called against the Mavericks, and it'll be the Barons' ball. Well, between Stephanie Bell and Carrie Minton, we've got most of them on film this first half. Downfield it comes. Picked up temporarily by Rodriguez. Mavericks send it back down. Now it's going to be picked up by Cacadelis. Cacadelis on the move and overtaken by a host of players. One of them being Rianne Pettit. Well, Rianne, it only took me about 3 tries to get your name right. And I apologize for anything before that. You get excited seeing the talent that's out here on the field, and you see so many different names and so many different combinations of vowels and consonants. You hope and you try so hard to get the pronunciations correct, and we know how tough that can be. Action on the near sideline right in front of us, and stepping up big time was Mindy Swanson. Well, this is a 1-2 combination. This time it will be Kristen Conahan will have the throw in. Between Conahan and Dew, they've been doing the honors here on the near sideline. Looking for the move is Caden, and the ball will be awarded to the Mavericks. Mavericks play in the Avocado League, Barons in the Metro League. Both the teams finished in first place, 10-0 for the Mavericks, 13-0-1 for the talented Barons. Headed back defensively, and here comes the ball again on a one-hop. Will take the ball, and offsides will be called against the Mavericks. It was in the possession of Bell anyway, but they'll give the ball away to Carrie Minton, and Minton will put the ball back into play for the Barons. So both teams got to sit out the first round of action. In that first round of Division I play on the road to this finals matchup, you had Granite Hills going up against San Marcos, Rancho Bernardo against Fallbrook, and Valhalla against Carlsbad. Swanson drags that right foot nicely and sends it downfield. Mavericks on the takeaway. Down, and now the ball awarded back over to the Mavericks. Granite Hills outscored San Marcos in the first round by a score of 4-2. It was Rancho Bernardo getting by Fallbrook 2-1, and it was Valhalla shutting out Carlsbad 1-0. In the quarterfinals, that's when La Costa Canyon and Bonita Vista started seeing some action. Nice feed by Mavericks, trying to get it downfield to a hard-charging Conahan. Ball is free, top of the box, trying to clear out the ball are the Barons. Zuniga sends it downfield. For control, back out are Mavericks. Both teams scrapping for control. Picked up now by Pruitt. And sending it down outside of the touchline. Stays in. Looked like it was going to squeak out there off the foot of Cunningham, but the ball amazingly stays in. And we are playing tightrope on that far side. Finally, ball goes outside as Mindy Swanson watches it go out. Swanson will put the ball back into play. In the quarterfinals, it was the #1 seed La Costa Canyon going up against Granite Hills. Torrey Pines was positioned to play Poway. #3 seed Bonita Vista went up against Rancho Bernardo, and it was Valhalla going up against #2 seed Mount Carmel. La Costa Canyon was able to put away Granite Hills easily by a score of 4-2. Torrey Pines just edged out and shocked #4 seed Poway. Bonita Vista was able to outlast Rancho Bernardo by a score of 2-1, and it was Valhalla also upsetting #2 seed Mount Carmel 1-0. Mount Carmel, really, people thought they were going to have a great opportunity with the talent they had to make it to this finals, but Valhalla had other ideas. Substitution now for the Barons. #4, Meredith Leyland comes in to relieve Denise French. Nice header by the Barons. It gets down deep.
For the Barons,
Watching it go
19,
out
Denise
are the
French.
Mavericks.
Plays
They'll have
lineup
the
for
goal kick.
Meredith Leyland.
We've got no score in this one. Waiting for someone to pierce the defensive wall. Both teams been able to stiffen up when the ball gets inside the box. They'll put the ball back in the play. That is the Mavericks. Head coach Mike Nicholson for the Mavericks. Assistant coach Maggie Merritt. Ball coming downfield. Feed to the Mavericks, and that's a long ball downfield. That'll be picked up, and trying to turn the ball towards the center was Cacadelis. Defense again is there for the Barons. Ron Pietola watching his team play. Ball coming in, double team defense. Up into the air by Conahan, going high. Stephanie Bell takes control inside her penalty box area, and she'll send the ball back out downfield. Nice ball as it carries way downfield. Trying to get there is Erica Rodriguez, but it's the Mavericks who want to send it back the other way. Outside the touchline, Sandy Zuniga. Haley Robertson for the Mavericks. Back out to Robertson. Trying to feed the ball down to Obaji. That looked like the throw-in will come in by the Mavericks. Right back out again. Yes, it will. That time it's off the foot of Rianne Pettit. And slowly the Mavericks move downfield. Mavericks find themselves in very familiar territory. They actually planted corn down here and put some water on it. They could watch it grow. They've been down in the Barons part of the field all first half. In favor of the Mavericks. But you got to give credit to the Bonita Vista Barons. They have had the strong defensive wall when they've needed to. Barons got some big, fast defenders back there, and they're not about to let anything come through. Romero gets it over to Rodriguez. This time Mavericks, and Paige Lowry sends it outside of the touchline. On the far sideline, Mindy Swanson will have the throw. Swanson has good strength in her throw, gets it downfield. Trying to get to the ball is Rodriguez. And the ball will be awarded this time to the Barons. Semi-final action found La Costa Canyon going up against Torrey Pines, and then it was Bonita Vista going against Valhalla. Nice strong throw. Head on it by Natalie Dew. Now the ball comes back out. Looking to pick up the ball is Kakadelis. Coming downfield, overtaken by Barron's defense, and then sent outside of the far touchline. Back in. Fight for control on the far sideline. La Costa Canyon was able to defeat Torrey Pines 3-0, and it was La Costa Canyon finding themselves in the finals game for the third straight year. Bonita Vista had to go into penalty kicks to outlast and beat Valhalla by a score of 1-0. For Bonita Vista, they are making their 4th overall appearance in a finals matchup in the Division I. In the Division 3A, when they were there, they were in the finals 4 times at that point in time, winning 2 of those finals matchups. So Bonita Vista, the school itself, familiar with playing in the soccer finals. 4 times they were there in the 3A division. This is their 4th time in the Division I. Ball comes in on the throw-in now by the Mavericks. And we are running out of time here in the first half of play. Opportunity, though. Can they get there? Shot on goal and ricocheted off. That was the foot by Haley Robertson. And right with just seconds left, it was Megan Kakadelis and Haley Robertson trying to find a last-second goal. But it is not happening. And so as we end this first half of play, we'll end it. Bonita Vista Barons, 0. La Costa Canyon Mavericks, 0. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dan Williams. We're at Torrey Pines High School, side of the women's Division I soccer championship game. The 2 teams on the field, Bonita Vista Barons and La Costa Canyon Mavericks. After the first 40 minutes of play, no score. With the start of the second half, we've got the teams now moving in different directions. La Costa Canyon Mavericks moving right to left. They keep Tara Walker in the keeper's box. Bonita Vista Barons will control and guard the left-hand goal. Stephanie Bell will remain in the keeper's box. Mavericks puts the ball long distance downfield, and a nice job defensively by Tani Pedron, using her size to outmaneuver Nikki Lopez. Ball goes outside of the goal line, and that'll be a corner kick time for the Mavericks. Janelle Caden will put the ball back into play. Get that ball up and crossing the face of the net. Here it comes. Cleared out off the header by the Barons. Look out now. Opportunity to Mavericks right in front of the face of Stephanie Bell. And luckily, the ball is whistled dead, given back over to Carrie Menton, and she will put the ball back into play herself. Trying to feed back in towards the seam, and that'll be the Barons' ball as it goes off the foot of Natalie Dew. Let's take a look at the rosters for these talented teams. Need to have as much recognition as possible. For the Bonita Vista Barons, we mentioned Stephanie Bell. She remains in the keeper's box. Number 2 is Lauren Beatty. Lena Valderrama wears number 3. Number 4 is Meredith Leyland. Darcy Cunningham wears number 5. Dana Kessler is number 6, and number 7 is Sandy Zuniga. Outside the touchline it goes. Osiris Romero wears number 8 for the Barons. Number 10 is Christina Romero. Inez Oriol. Number 9, number 11, Jenna Vivanco. Inside the box, this time just edges outside of the goal line, and this time it'll be a corner kick for the Barons. Number 9, Oriol, will have the ball. Erica Rodriguez wears number 12, Angelica Valderrama, number 13, number 14, Marls Gonzalez, number 15, Mindy Swanson, Carrie Minton, 16, Andrea Pino, 17, Tawny Pedron, 18, 19, Denise French, Rianne Pettit, 20, and 21, Stephanie Bell in the keeper's box. Oriol sends one in, looking for a header. The header is on the defense of the Mavericks. Barons trying to regroup, but the ball belongs to the Mavericks off the foot of Caitlin Pruitt, sends it down along the far sideline. Now with the ball, Romero. Romero sends it downfield, trying to get it to Beatty. But right there for the Mavericks is Tara Walker. Walker will send a high fly soccer ball going deep. Takes a bounce now. Possession, Mavericks on the move is Obaji. Obaji sends one towards the net, moving away from the far post. Nice dive by Stephanie Bell. That was Alexis Obaji. Sent one towards the net, but just arcing and moving away, laying out nicely was Stephanie Bell to keep that ball, if she needed to, from squeaking inside the far post. But the ball was on its own trajectory, moving away from the net, and so this comes up to be a goal kick for the Barons. No score, just underway the second half. Barons put the ball back into play. Trap and control by Dew. Now it's Schmidt who sends it down. Going after the ball is going to be Moonjin, but getting there first is Stephanie Bell. Bell sends one downfield on her own. Nice defense by Mavericks, now picked up by Barons on the near sideline. And that's Hugo Valdez on the sideline there for the Barons. Thought he was going to try and put a foot on the ball himself, and then had second thoughts. Ball will come back in by the Mavericks, and Dew right at the midfield line. Dew, nice strong throw. Coming back with it is going to be Lopez. Nice defensive play by the Barons. Dew, throw in. Gets it all the way into the net, headed out by the Barons. Foot on the ball by Dew, and there's action at the top of the box. Ball gets in right in front of Moonjin. And burying herself on the ball, Stephanie Bell colliding with Heather Moonjin. And coming up with it, Stephanie Bell, both Bell and Walker. Huge, huge defensive players in the box for each team. Looking for a center is Pedron. And now trying to go after the ball is Valderrama. That's outside of the touch line, and the ball will be given to the Barons. And they'll have it now deep, deep on the near sideline. Both of the keepers, Stephanie Bell and Tara Walker, showing their superb ability and also their no fears attitude. Coming up high, that's going to be a corner kick. No, says the referee. I tell you, from this advantage, it looked like it was a corner kick, but right there directing traffic was Tara Walker. She pointed the other direction, and that's sure enough what it was. Downfield, the ball comes. Mavericks looking for an attack position. The big blue wrecking crew of Bonita Vista Barons. Bonita Vista Barons have got good size and strength on their team. For the Mavericks, they truly have speed as well. Picking up is Beatty. Beatty looking to feed on the near side. Zuniga And that ball goes right into the waiting hands of Tara Walker. Let's take a look at the roster for La Costa Canyon Mavericks. Janelle Caden, number 3. Number 4, Natalie Dew. Kristen Conahan is number 5. Number 7 is Haley Robertson. Vanessa Valentine wears number 9, and Kathy Schmidt, number 10. Lindsey Brown wears number 11. 12 is Nikki Lopez. Alexis Obaji, number 14. Megan Kakadelis, 15. Number 16, Caitlin Pruitt. Paige Lowry wears number 19 for the Mavericks. Number 21, Heather Moongin. Kelly O'Connell, number 22. Number 23, Alessa Springer. Ball sent towards the Barons box, but Stephanie Bell is right there. 31 is Whitney Thomas. Cherie Halverson, 38. And number 40, that's Kristen Rock. Ball is free, carried through by Schmidt. At midfield, takeaway Barons. Takeaway Mavericks. Back and forth we go. Now on the move. Pruitt runs into some defense by the Barons outside the touchline. Throw in coming in by Obaji. Obaji gets it down to Lopez, but again, right there in the defensive position is one of the captains, Tawny Pedron, for the Bonita Vista Barons. And the ball comes back out. Both of these teams very, very talented, and both teams having a history of success. La Costa Canyon came into being as it was spawned from San Dieguito High School, 1996. Starting in 1997, it was La Costa Canyon finding success as they found themselves in the Division I championship game. They went up against Poway, defeated Poway in 1997 by a score of 1-0. Then it was right back to the finals in 1998 for La Costa Canyon as they went up against a very talented Torrey Pines team. That game, even in overtime, ended in no score, and it was co-champions La Costa Canyon and Torrey Pines sharing the 1998 Division I crown. And now for the 3rd straight year, the talented La Costa Canyon Mavericks find themselves in this finals match going up against a tough Bonita Vista Barons team. Bonita Vista Barons, 1996, they found themselves in the same situation going up against San Dieguito. It was the team in which spawned La Costa Canyon. They also ended up becoming co-champions, and fittingly so, as San Dieguito and La Costa Canyon, that is Bonita Vista, that is, shared the division crown in 1996. So the last 3 years, now going on 4 years, Bonita Vista or La Costa Canyon has found themselves in this championship game. Rightfully so, as you can see, both these teams equally suited to play one another. Have they played one another before? They have. Earlier this season in the Torrey Pines tournament, it was Bonita Vista going up against the Mavericks, and it was the Mavericks defeating Bonita Vista by a score of 2-1. Right now, neither team has been able to find the magic or find the weak link in the other's defense. Action picks up, and that's number 40, Kristen Rock, going at it. Kristen Rock is a midfielder. She is a junior, so she'll be back next year at 5'6", a very talented player. Whistle blown in favor of the Barons. They'll have the ball towards the midfield line. They'll put the ball back into play. No score in this one. Two tough defensive teams. Ball comes back into play. Both these teams defensively have been very, very stiff. Just passing the 12-minute mark in this second half of play. No score the first half, and what happens if there's no score in this second half? We go into overtime. Two 15-minute periods. Each overtime period can end in sudden victory if one of the teams puts it in the net. What happens if in both overtimes we still have a tie? Guess what, guys? It'd be for the third year out of the last four we'd have a co-champion. Rightfully so, as both these teams are very evenly matched, but I don't think at this point in time that either team would like to share a co-champion. They want to be named champion and only champion for themselves. Co-champions in the CIF playoffs is something to brag about, but being the champion and only the champion, even better bragging rights. Throw in by Mindy Swanson. Inside the box. Where's the ball going? Outside. Is that going to be a corner kick? It sure looks like it. Trotting over there is Inez Oriol. She has the corner kick duties, and for the talented Barons, they'll see what they can do with it. Mavericks defensive wall. They're in strategy time right now. They've got their wall built. Here comes the ball by Oriol. Coming in nicely, going high towards the net. What a save! Christina Romero trying to help her team as she heads the ball towards the net. A quick thinking, quick reacting Tara Walker saves what looked like was going to be a goal for the Barons. They have both of these keepers just super in the box. Ball now comes back out by the Mavericks. Remember, we talked about it. The team, the Mavericks, allowed only 7 goals for the entire season. They collected 18 shutouts along the way. And in the semifinals, it was La Costa Canyon and Tara Walker shutting out Torrey Pines by that score of 3-0. Substitution for the Barons. Marls Gonzalez will come into the game. Lauren Beatty, number 2, goes out. She'll take a breather. So it's Gonzalez, fresh legs for the Bonita Vista Barons.
Change for Bonita Vista, number 14.
Bonita Vista had their shutout in the semifinals matchup against Valhalla. It went to penalty kicks. And that's when Bonita Vista came out on top 1-0 and went on to this finals matchup. Looking for control now, Mavericks, and you can see everybody slipping all over the place. The ground is not in the best shape, especially in those center parts of the field where the turf has actually become almost non-existent. Big brown patches, a lot of loose turf. And women trying to gain some footing, and they are taking some slips and falls out there. Also today, we've got soccer action, finals matchups down at Southwestern College. But right here, the action's hot and furious at Torrey Pines High School. For control, double headers going after it. Whistle blows, ball given to the Barons. Bonita Vista Barons have had some talented athletes along the way with the history of this soccer club. Sarah Bennett was a parade All-American when she was attending Bonita Vista. For the women's national team, you had Jennifer Lawler and Linaire Quinones, who was actually given to the nationals team. It was Lawler for USA and Quinones for Mexico. Jennifer Grasso, who graduated from Bonita Vista, she was an NCAA Division II Player of the Year. And, of course, she had a lot of CIF Players of the Year, most recently Amy Rasmussen from 1996. In 1997, it was Rosie Costello named the Union Tribune Student Athlete of the Year. Talent galore on the Bonita Vista girls soccer team. Beatty Lauren is a senior. You have Lena Valderrama, a freshman. senior Meredith Leyland, sophomore Darcy Cunningham. The ball comes in, and a heads-up play, watching it go outside of the goal line. Right there is Stephanie Bell. Sophomore Cunningham, Kessler is a junior, Zuniga is a senior, sophomore Romero, couple more juniors in Oriole and Romero, freshman Vivanco and Rodriguez, Valdermera, Angelica is a junior, senior Marels Gonzalez and Mindy Swanson, she'll be a junior, Carrie Minton a junior, Andrea Pino, freshman, junior Tani Pedron, freshman Denise French, junior Rianne Pettit, and senior Stephanie Bell. So a lot of juniors and freshmen and sophomores on this talented team. And that's what happens is they build from the bottom up, get some experience on these athletes. They come back for another year and another year. Captains on Bonita Vista, we mentioned that. Inez Oriole, Tani Pedron, and Stephanie Bell. Ball now picked up by the long striding Mavericks. Looking to try and get down there is going to be Kakadelis. Kakadelis being challenged now by 3 defenders. 1, 2 in the picture, and another one, and too much for Kakadelis as Tani Pedron overtakes the ball. That's going to be taken by the Barons as it's off the foot of Natalie Dew. Bonita Vista Barons soccer statistics. As a team, they had 457 shots on goal, 137 corner kicks, 89 saves. They had 18, we mentioned that earlier, 18 shutouts. And then take a look at the productivity of this team. 123 goals, 103 assists. League play, 13-0-1. Tournament play, 8-4-1. And we see a substitution coming out, taking a breather, was talented Kristen Rock, number 40. Back into the game. Moving downfield, trying to feed the ball to her teammate, Pruitt. And now a scrabble for the ball. That's Schmidt. And now a one-touch over. Conahan gets it to Pruitt again. Pruitt, open field, will send it downfield outside of the touchline on the far sideline. So the ball will be taken by the Barons. Mindy Swanson. And we've got a substitution coming in right now. Lauren Beatty comes back into the field. You hear the chant of Lauren. Erica Rodriguez will come out and get some quick instruction by Hugo Valdez. Header by the Mavericks.
Replacing Erica Rodriguez.
Carry through and going after it. Getting there first is a nice foot on the ball by the Barons. Goes downfield. Nobody is there. Nobody is there. Ball goes outside of the touchline, and for the Mavericks, they'll have it. Bonita Vista has found themselves also in the women's record books for the CIF San Diego section. Most shutouts by a team in a season. Bonita Vista found themselves in the record book during the 1990 season. 26 out of 30 games shutouts. 1989, 22 out of 29. Most recently, 24 out of 31 games in 1995. Ball coming downfield and outside of the touchline. Most consecutive shutouts by Bonita Vista, 16 during the 87-88 season, 16 in the 89-90, and then 15 in the 92-93. Longest league unbeaten streak in the Metro League, Bonita Vista, 199 games. Unbelievable. Taking the tumble and moving downfield now will be the Bonita Vista Barons. At the 22-minute mark of this second half, no score. Bonita Vista Barons and La Costa Canyon Mavericks. Ball back into play. Foot on the ball, going up high. That's Meredith Leyland. And now looking for control with Mavericks. That'll go off of Conahan, and so the Barons will have the ball. So the first half, it was the Mavericks doing a lot of penetration offensively into the Barons part of the field, and now the second half, the tide has turned a little bit. You've got the Barons now finding themselves time and time again downfield. Substitution now coming into the game is Lena Valderrama. She replaces Miles Gonzalez, and action picks up, and the ball goes right back out again. Interesting here at Torrey Pines, they've got a typical layout of the soccer field. You have the white touchline right there, and the soccer field itself is probably about 5 yards on each side smaller in width than you normally would. And now going right back out of the game is Lena Valderrama, and it's Christina Romero coming into the game. The reason why you've got the smaller width is because you've got the tracks that are built around the field on top of either long jump or high jump pits that they've got. Usually they're the long jump pits along the sidelines. Down covering some of the games earlier today at DeVore Stadium at Southwestern College, it's a different story. Southwestern College does not have a track around the field, and so they're able to use the entire field and have a complete, fully wide regulation size soccer field down there. Substitutions now coming in, getting late in the game, and you see some substitutions coming out of the game is Robertson and Schmidt.
The Costa Canyon sends number 3.
And back in game is Caden as well as Moonjin.
Replacing number 7, Kelly Robinson.
Ball is free at midfield line. Caden, who comes into the game, sees action, and so does Moonjin. Moonjin trying to move the ball downfield and trying to feed it. That ball was sent on the ground, hopping and skipping towards the far post. Stephanie Bell takes control and sends it downfield. Getting by everybody, headed back by Mavericks, and they'll have the throw-in this time. Conahan looking for the throw-in. Ball comes back in. You are watching the 1999 CIF San Diego Section Women's Division I Soccer Championship game, being brought to you by George Langevin Sports Video Productions, your leader in Game of the Week coverage. And this is our Game of the Week, and we'll call it the Super Game of the Week. Division I championship action right here, brought to you from Torrey Pines High School. It is getting late now in the afternoon. This is a 4 o'clock start. Lights are on in the stadium. You can see the shadows on the field. It didn't have any shadows earlier today because it's been overcast all day, as it continues to do. Later this afternoon, we saw a little bit of a partly cloudy sky, but right now it's overcast. The lights are on. It's a little bit cool. Great weather for soccer players out on the field, but these athletes, both Mavericks and the Barons, starting to, I'm sure, lose some of the zip that they had earlier. You play 80 minutes of hard soccer with these types of athletes, and stamina becomes an issue later on. Outside of the touchline, good play, shielding the ball away from the Maverick player. And so, once again, it'll be Stephanie Bell who will put the ball back into play. Out of the Metro League, Bonita Vista Barons. The principal of the school is Raymond Leba. The athletic director is Bonnie Wiley. Their enrollment is pretty good size from grade 10 through 12. They've got a student body of about 1,762 students. Into the game now is Andrea Pino for the Barons. Ball coming out. Lauren Beatty. And then Sandy Zuniga. Ball will come back in. You see some of the fans right in front of us here. You got the cheerleaders for Bonita Barons, and I think it always helps to be able to have the spirit from the sidelines. Cheerleaders for the Barons shouting, fire up, trying to keep this team alive, keeping that spirit high flying. Still no score in this one. Looking for an opportunity. Mavericks! Opportunity goes away. Defense is there. Now for control with the header, and a nice one it was. Kristen Conahan on the attack again, and tangling up was Lindsey Brown, going at it with Rianne Pettit. And it's the Barons who are able to take control of that one. Pettit outsizing Brown. Rianne Pettit, defender, and only a junior, so she'll be back next year, going up against Lindsey Brown. She is a junior as well. So both those players, who I'm sure will see each other once again next year. But right here, right now, is where we're at. No score in the second half of play. At the 28-minute mark, now on the move, it's Conahan. Feeds to the outside and not getting there. Brown, she couldn't quite find the handle on the ball. Now double teamed and somehow getting the ball away. On the turn, Heather Moongen launches one behind the net. It's amazing that with 2-on-1 that Brown was able to even get the ball through. Moongen, good rocket launcher for a leg. And now for the Barons, they'll have the ball. Substitution time. Coming into the game for Bonita Vista is Christina Romero. She relieves Andrea Pino, and play resumes. Moongen over there as well as Obaji. Back out for control now, picked up by Bonita Vista Barons. Taken back by Conahan. Conahan feeds it on the ground. Nice ball picked up by Kakadelis. And it looks like it's going to be offsides called. That was a close call. Bonita Vista Barons will have the ball. Carrie Minton will send it back into play. Ball comes back in. Nice header once again. Double time by Conahan. Now picked up by Obaji. Now a scramble for the ball. Obaji with the ball. Obaji on the move. Shot towards the net, and a chip by Obaji is not enough as Stephanie Bell waits for it to come down and now puts the ball back into play. Back down the field, trying to get it to Valderrama, but it's taken by the Mavericks. And with the ball now is Lindsey Brown. Brown, and then moving over is Pettit. Can't quite get there in time. Brown to keep it inside the touchline. And so it'll be the Barons and Rianne Pettit. Substitution now coming out of the game is going to be Sandy Zuniga, back in Lauren Beatty. So right now getting a lot of substitutions as we are late in the second half of play.
Number 2, Lauren Beatty.
At the 31-minute mark.
Number 7, Sandy.
Excuse me, sir.
Ball comes back in now. Barons trying to fight it and send it back the other way. On the attack, Mavericks. Stepping in front, taken away nicely by Kristen Conahan. Now back out to Lindsey Brown, and Brown sends it outside the touchline. Girls are starting to run on fumes, I would say, and that's why you're seeing a lot of substitutions, and rightfully so. You're playing for 70 minutes up and down the field. I would last probably at least a good 30 seconds. Foot on the ball, never makes it in, does it? Ball will be awarded to who? Barons. Throw in by Meredith Leyland, number 4. Leyland, midfielder, she is a senior, so she would love to go out with the championship her senior year. Ball outside the touchline, and both teams and both athletes just giving it their all right now. No score, starting to wind down. Within the last 10 minutes of the second half, we are playing 0-0 for Bonita Vista. Last time they played in semifinals matchup, they had a shutout. 1-0 over Valhalla. They would love to repeat that again and get a victory here. For La Costa Canyon, though, they came up big time as well. They had a shutout when they defeated Torrey Pines 3-0. So both Stephanie Bell and Tara Walker coming off shutout games in their semifinal matchup. Both of them have shutouts here today. The question is, will it remain a shutout? No score for the rest of this regulation time, and will we have to go into overtime? We'll see what happens right now. Neither defensive team has weakened. Barons will have the ball down deep. They'll get a throw in into the penalty box. Let's see how far it just goes. Off the hands of Swanson. Gets it in, foot on the ball, right into the hands of Tara Walker. And Tara Walker, for the second time, has super quick reflexes. That ball shot off the foot within 10 feet of Walker, and she just quickly, you saw the speed of her hands. Now on the move, it's the Mavericks and Swanson. Swanson comes in a last-minute defensive play by number 5, Darcy Cunningham. Cunningham comes up big. It looked like Aubergy was on her way for a shot on goal, point-blank range. Darcy Cunningham gets the star right there as she comes up huge with a big, big defensive play. Crossing everybody, top of the box, shot on goal, well wide of the near post, and that'll be a goal kick now for the Barons. So things are heating up here at Torrey Pines High School. 34-minute mark of the second half, 6 minutes to play. Both teams have not had an opportunity. Well, I should say they've had opportunities, they just haven't found the mark. That last one was about as close as you could get for the Mavericks. And again, I'll have to mention the outstanding defensive play by number 5, Darcy Cunningham, sophomore. She'll be around for a long time to come for the Barons. Outside of the goal line, goal kick time for Bonita Vista. Substitutions now once again. Instructions being given by Bonita Vista. They will now have what? A throw-in? Throw-in it is, about as close as you can get. It just happened to go out on the other side of the flag. High and long. Dew will send it towards the middle. Nice trap. And the foot goes on the ball by the Mavericks. Looking to get there first is Valderrama. Now taken by Pedrin. Dew is there, and Dew lets it go by. Now it's sent back, carry through by Munjin. On the move is Brown, and Brown again shut down by the hard-charging Rianne Pettit. Brown having a tough time trying to get by a hard-marking Rianne Pettit. Corner kick, though, is resulted, comes back out. Back over now. 1-2. Top of the box, defense is there. Ricochet off of Cunningham, ball comes in, sails high over the crossbar. Well, action is heating up now for Stephanie Bell. She had a lull for about 40 minutes between the second half, or the second part of the first half, that is. The first half itself, Bell was very busy. Mavericks continually put the ball and pressure down deep. Ball on the ground again. Beat on it by Bell. She'll send it back. And then there was a lull, and not much was happening. Then the start of the second half, it was the Barons' turn, and they were keeping Tara Walker very busy. Now the tide has turned once again. On the move, it's Aubergy. Aubergy looking for a shot on goal. Aubergy just can't quite get there. She had split two defenders, one of them being Carrie Menton, and she just couldn't get all of her foot on that ball. Goal kick time for the Barons. Ball comes back into play. And the whistle blows. It's a dead ball. They'll have to do that one over again. Referee coming in, instructing something to Bell. Opposite side. Well, oh, I see. Okay, there was a spectator on the field, and the referee has instructed the spectator to move away from behind the cage. Now this time it goes back over to the Mavericks. Dew, realizing time is of the essence right now, trying to put the ball back into play. Gives way now to Paige Lowry. Lowry sends one high, looking for a header in the direction of the net. Defense is there, helped along. Sent back the other way. And who gets there first? Hard charging Kakadelis, but Bell gets there in time. Bell gives her all and sends one way downfield, headed back by the Mavericks. Picked up now by Caden. Carry through off the foot of Aubergy. Taking a tumble is Janelle Caden. She'll get back up again.
On the field.
Caden will have the ball in her possession. Gives way again to Lowry. Lowry waiting for her teammates to get organized. Lowry puts the chip up into the air, top of the box. Will it be cleared out? It is outside the touchline, so the throw-in comes by Dew and the hard-charging Mavericks. Time is now running out. Less than a minute to play. This one looks like it might be going into overtime, but Mavericks trying to work some magic to get it inside the box for a shot on goal. Heading now towards the net, cleared out by the Barons. Picked up now on the far sideline by Pruitt. Pruitt wants to send it across. She does. Ball is free and on the ground. Cleared out now. Pick up by Valderrama. Outside the touchline it goes. We are about out of time in this second half, and we are waiting for a whistle by the head referee. Big throw coming in, header, and right there taking control, Stephanie Bell. Bell saying, shoo, get downfield as fast as you can. She wants to send it downfield. Short kick, looking for control is Caden. Now picked up by Valderrama. Caden back with it, and now taken away by Beatty. Back to Dew, and outside the touchline, Dew will have the throw in. Dew waiting for her team. Throws one in, and that's the whistle. We are going into overtime after 80 minutes of play. Bonita Vista Barons, nothing. La Costa Canyon Mavericks, nothing. We're going to be coming right back to start sudden victory overtime. We are back into play. It is sudden victory overtime. 15-minute halves to try and determine just who's going to be the Division I San Diego CIF section women's soccer champions right here. Torrey Pines High School, no score after two 40-minute halves. Stephanie Bell and Tara Walker have been like a steel door inside that box. For the Mavericks, Caden sends one downfield, top of the box, cleared out. Moving downfield now. Beal puts a foot on it. Taking the ball is Bell. Offside's called anyway. So it'll come back out for the Barons. Starting in overtime now. We've got switched positions. It's Bell back in the right-hand goal. Tara Walker remains now in the left-hand goal. Minton sends it downfield. Ball carries through towards the midfield line. Header, and now who will have control? A push and a shove from behind, and it'll be the Mavericks' ball. Well, we played 40 minutes. Question is, do we play 30 minutes more? We got done with 40 in the first half, 40 in the second. Now we're on our first 15-minute half. Ball is in the air and right into the hands of Stephanie Bell. Stephanie Bell had 30 saves during the season, 17 shutouts. She'd like to get another shutout right here. Lauren Beatty can't quite get control of the ball. Outside it goes, and Kelly O'Connell takes the ball, gives way back over to Conahan, and Conahan will have the throw in on the near sideline. Back to Conahan. Comes downfield. Open field. That's Cunningham sending it back. Action picks up right at the midfield line on the far sideline. Outside it goes. This game has had a tremendous amount of touchline balls. And a push from behind gives the edge to the Mavericks right now. Both teams looking on from the sidelines. You're looking at the Mavericks sideline, now moving it downfield. On the move, Mavericks coming down, and it's going to be denied again. The defensive wall for the Barons is their chip shot going way high, up and over everything. Bell puts the ball back into play, and they will go the other way. Carrie Minton, who's done it all game long, will put the ball back into play for the Bonita Vista Barons. Well, Bonita Vista Barons, back in 1996, was the last time they found themselves in a championship game. Now it's 1999, going against the Costa Canyon. The Costa Canyon trying to three-peat right here, shot towards the goal. Bending down, moving to her left, taking the ball is Bell, and she'll send it back out. La Costa Canyon, for their third time in 3 years, finding themselves in the finals. Opportunity, Brown, another shot on goal, and just misses. It could have been touched by Bell. It might be a corner kick now for the Mavericks. Diving to her right was Stephanie Bell. It looks like she slapped at the ball. She sure did. The ball now is corner kick for the Mavericks. Janelle Caden will put the ball into play. Caden, corner kick time, up in the air, going high. The ball is in the air, and it goes up and over. Last touch by one of the Barons players. Kelly O'Connell trying to head the ball in and end this match now. Once again, corner kick time. Pressure on the defense. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a corner kick result in a goal off a header. What's going to happen? Up and high. The ball is down, and the ball goes in. La Costa Canyon Mavericks do it for the third straight year. Kelly O'Connell had tried it before. She went up high to use her head. Janelle Caden came with the corner kick, Natalie Dew was there, but we're going to give it to Kelly O'Connell, who went up high, up on the back almost, of Natalie Dew and sent the ball into the far post corner. There was just too many Mavericks inside that small penalty box area for the Bonita Vista Barons. Stephanie Bell and her team watched as the ball went right into the net. And again, for the third straight year, it's the La Costa Canyon Mavericks named champions in the Division I Women's San Diego Section Championship game.
Number 3, Lina Valderrama. Number 4, Meredith Leyland. Number 5, Darcy Cunningham. Number 6, Dana Kessler.
Ramon!
Number 7, Sandy Zuniga. Number 8, Osiris Romero. Number 9, Inez Oro. Number 10, Christina Romero.
Hey, great, Ken.
Number 11, Jenna Belanco. Number 12, Erica Rodriguez. Number 13, Angelica Valderrama. Number 14, Marlis Gonzalez. Number 15, Mindy Swanson. Number 16, Carrie Minton.
Very nice job.
Number 17, Andrea Pino. Number 18, Tawny Pedron. Number 19, Denise French. Number 20, Rayanne Pettit. And number 21, Stephanie Bell.
Let's come on over here.
The head coach is Ron Pietla with Ronnie Pietla, Hugo Valdez, and Milt Shadon.
Put that on here for action.
We really need to stand there and
Yeah, we are. We're going to stand
I
here.
recognize that.
There, ladies and gentlemen, the Division I runners-up 1999 of the Bonita Vista Barons of the Costa Canyon Mavericks. Once again, the awards will be presented by Rick Bethel, representing the CIF this evening. Presenting goalkeeper Aaron Collins. And goalkeeper Chara Walker. Number 3, Janelle. Number 4, Natalie Dew. Kristen Conahan. Number 7, Haley Robertson. Number 9, Vanessa Valentine. Number 10, Kathy Schmidt. Number 11, Lindsey Brown. Number 12, Nikki Lopez. Number 14, Alexis Open. Number 15, Megan Cocadelis. Number 16, Caitlin Pruitt. Number 19, Paige Lowry. Number 21, Heather Ojen. Number 22, Kelly. Number 23, Alyssa Springer. Number 31, Whitney Duffy. Number 38, Cherie Halverson. And number 40, Kristen Rock. The head coach of the CIF champion Mavericks, Mike Nicholson,